Joining us now, award-winning journalist Charlayne Hunter-Gault. Her new book is entitled My People, 5 Decades of Writing About Black Lives, and it chronicles her storied career as a journalist, reporting on Black people from around the world. It's great to have you on the show. Congratulations on the book. I want to ask you about it, and I want to start right there, though, with the comments that we were just talking about. The racism coming from the Republican Party, whether it be in subtle ways, propping up Herschel Walker, or in more blatant ways, as we heard from Senator Tommy Tuberville. As the author of My People, what are your concerns about your people in terms of the political atmosphere?
Well, it's very nice to be with you, Mika. I really appreciate it. I enjoy your show. You know, part of my job is to do sort of what you do, which is to look at things and try to analyze them. So I'm not going to comment on what the various political people are saying about what's going on politically in the country now. But what I think is very important for those of us, and at this age, 80, I still try to do a little reporting. And so I talk to people, and I talk to all kinds of people. I wish actually that I could talk to some even more people like those you've just interviewed, because my problem with what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that they don't have the facts, and they don't have the context, and they don't have the history. And so that is what I'm hoping my book will do. And I hope people who actually think differently from, say, my people will be able to at least sit down and listen and tell me why they say what they say and what their historical background is, because I think the history is what is missing in a lot of these comments.
So, and Rev, to her point, the disinformation really is promulgated by people who have a lack of historical context. There's the civics mindedness or lack thereof for a lot of even sitting members of Congress, and what we just saw was a sitting senator.
If you don't have the historical context, you deal with operating out of context. And I think a lot of them miss that. But Charlayne, as we look back, I tell everybody everywhere that Charlayne Hunter-Gault was the one when she wrote the first New York Times story on me when I was 16 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
I was the youth director, started a youth group, did a Kwanzaa celebration in Harlem. Charlayne Hunter-Gault wrote the first New York Times piece on me. I still have it, and I don't care what anybody says. She knows history because she wrote about me before anybody thought I was only 16. But I raised that to say also, you lived and wrote and was, in my opinion, the preeminent writer at that time from the New York Times perch during the 68 to 72 wave, where we were dealing with everyone from George Wallace running for president to Adam Clayton Powell still in Congress in Harlem. What can we learn from that period now? Give us the historic context of that National Black Political Convention and all, and what we can glean from that could guide us through where we are now in this era of Trump and et cetera, because I don't think anyone could tell us more than you, because you had the front seat and wrote it and told it like it was then and now.
Well, I've followed you and I've watched what you've done, and I think that it's been very good for my people and other people, because although the book concentrates on people of color, Black people for the most part, you know, it's about people. And as I followed you through your career, you never let go. You never put your feet anywhere other than on the ground. And it reminds me of something Julian Bond, the late Julian Bond, who's included in my book, told an audience in New York when I had left the New York Times and working for the New Yorker. And he said, we have achieved on a national level. Now it's time for you to go back into your communities, put your feet on the ground, and help educate people about what is going on in our country and what you need to do. And I think sometimes what goes around comes around, because I think that's very good advice. I think that we need to give our people, all of our people, the kind of education that they need to make this, well, a more perfect union. But you see those words, a more perfect union, indicates that we all have to keep our feet in the street, or our hands on our computers, or back in the day when I was covering you, on our typewriters. We didn't have any cell phones, thank goodness. We didn't have computers, but we had people who were making news and good things and saying the right things. And so I think that that's what we have to do. All of us, those of us who are journalists, and as you know, local newspapers, news organizations are going away, and we've got to get people to support. I know after all these years, you probably made a little money. So let's put it into some local journalism so that our local people can have the information they need to put their feet in the street.
Hear to that. Let me pick up actually on that exact topic, the importance of journalism. As you look back on your career here and the decades that you've been doing it, it's an institution like so many others right now under attack. So many Americans can't even agree on the same set of facts. Everything is looked through a partisan lens. And according to polling, the media has never been trusted less. How can we, an industry that, as you say, is under assault, both financially and rhetorically, how can we do our job? How important is it?
You have to keep on keeping on. You have to do what you all do on MSNBC. And I have to say, I'm sorry, other networks could learn from you, maybe, and you could learn from them. We can learn from each other. But look at our history, because our history takes us on a path that is not perfect, but it gives lessons. And I'm encouraging journalists on the ground. I had a great journalist recently on a program I did for Henry Louis Gates at the Harvard School. She came from Miami, and she had covered the people who were opposed to teaching some Black history, most Black history in schools. And she was very good on it. And yet she didn't depart from her role as a journalist, but she had talked to these people who are opposed to teaching Black history. And so I think that we need journalists like her. We need journalists like all of you to give context to our life in this country, because we can save this country and have it be what it was intended to be. And I'll come back on the program and talk about how successful we've been.
I love it. Charlayne Hunter-Gault, thank you very much. It's an honor to have you on this morning. The new book is called My People, 5 Decades of Writing About Black Lives. Thank you for coming on this morning. And